It's really really simple. देखते ही वो कहना चाहिए यार इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है यार. And when I get this feedback from most of our new prospects, new customers, consultants, यार ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. I said इसी पे तो हमने काम किया है सर.
Thank you, Amit ji, for joining us today this morning. And can you please share something about yourself and about Neerain?
So, Neerain started way back in 2018. The company was incorporated in 2018. And the whole purpose and the objective was to make rainwater harvesting a common man's movement. Now, when we say common man's movement, it is a easier word to use, but it's a great difficulty to actually make it a movement. So when I had a thought that rainwater harvesting is something which I think every one of our country is aware of. And today we are into a worst ever crisis of water in the history of our nation. Almost 63% of Indians do not have good water available for their daily living. Fresh water, potable water, it's scarce for them. Now, when we look at both the ends, everybody is aware of rainwater harvesting. Our country has got huge amount of rainfall and fresh water availability, and still we have a great water stress across the nation. So there are two big areas which are not connected with each other. And that's where when I started writing papers and started studying various aspects of rainwater harvesting, I have categorically understood few parameters. Like as a principle, as a concept, everybody loves and likes rainwater harvesting. But as a solution, people really go away from implementing it. Why? Because whosoever has been in the field of rainwater harvesting technologies or solutions, probably they have made things much more complicated, much more expensive, tedious, and beyond a very simple understanding of a common layman. And that's why everyone, when they want to contribute, but when it comes to their own implementation, they simply go away. One of the reasons I could identify was our, learning during education time. Like you, me, any engineer, any common man, any graduate, when you talk about rainwater harvesting, he would think about large civil structures, ponds, lakes, farms, and big structures. And then he would say, यार ये बहुत अच्छा है, हमको करना ही चाहिए, देश को करना चाहिए, सबको करना चाहिए, but this is not my cup of tea. ये मेरे बस की नहीं है. And this has led our country into worst ever situation of water. In spite of having so much of availability of free, fresh, pure, good rainwater, we are really struggling for water. So then I broke into the problem. I broke into the real ground constraints. Why is this a blinker? Why is this a constraint for individual to implement? Water is a common problem. Water is a global problem. But water doesn't have a global solution. It is everybody's concern. It is everybody's need. And it has to start from an individual. So I said, yes, let us first of all jot down the problems. There were a couple of problems which, as we've just discussed, one would think that मेरा घर बन गया है, it's not possible for me to implement. Somebody else would think यार बहुत सिविल का तोड़फोड़ होगा, we will have to change infrastructure, it will be very expensive. Somebody would think yeah, we'll have to go and get a professionals, we'll have to engage mason and plumbers, and ये बड़ा time consuming है, I'm not getting people. Somebody would say I do not have a space in my house. Someone has a problem of time because such systems need a lot of maintenance. So they said कि ये कौन करेगा हर साल? We do not have enough time, neither we do have enough resources for this. Now, these were common problems across individuals, institutions, and industries. Whosoever has done little bit of rainwater harvesting, they've just done, pits and put a lot of gravels into it. After few rainfalls, there will be biological film or layer formation. Water will get chalk, and probably there will be huge water logging, and they would simply connect their pits with drainages or some other connections and let the water go out as if it is creating a problem. Now, these were the real constraint why people were not adopting rainwater harvesting. Now, a culture, a country which has shown rainwater harvesting to the world probably thousands of years ago, those were the golden principles which were into our monuments, which were into our shastras, which were into our old and heritage education system. But those golden principles have not been customized, they have not been taken into the same spirit of modern development, urbanization way of building new India. So I said each constraint is an opportunity. So let me work on something which is very, very simple. First of all, simplicity has to become its USP. कोई भी बंदा वो प्रोडक्ट को देख के बोलना चाहिए इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है. That's where we have done a real work. That is first. Second, let us make it truly modular. It should be made in the factory, supplied, plug and play, just get it, fix it, that's it. Third, it should be so easy to handle and fix that you don't need a plumber actually. A technical person a person who can fix a screw, who can just drill in the wall, he should be able to fix this unit. We should make it very, very compact so that it doesn't occupy much space. It has to be wall mounted so that you don't have to dig anything, you don't have to change any structure, any surface. It should be so efficient that a maintenance is not at all required, or if it is just a simple way of cleaning, and you don't need to do the maintenance kind of thing. You don't need to call professionals or plumbers to clean it. And it should be open, it can be monitored, it should have very simple principle of water filtration so that only impurities gets filtered. There's no wastage of water, and you get clean, clear, fresh, pure rainwater back into your resource. And whatever you design, it should be for a surface area of around 1200 square feet. Why? Because most of the buildings, if you observe, the architects and the structural engineers, they would give rainwater pipe at around 800 to 1000 square feet. Everywhere you will have a one drainage. So when most of the drainages are designed at 800 to 1000 square feet, why not a modular rainwater filter which can tackle that much of area? Because we want people to get into the process of harvesting rainwater in the base of economy, in the base of ease, and once they find that so much of water is coming back to my resource, then he would not mind spending even much more amount of his money. But getting him into this process for the first time is something which is breaking a lot of blinkers, breaking his beliefs. यार ये तो मुश्किल है, टीडियस है, प्रॉब्लमेटिक है, मेरे बस की नहीं है, कौन संभालेगा, इतना खर्चा, मेशन को कौन देखेगा, हाउ विल सुपरवाइज, एंड एवरी ईयर मेरे बस की नहीं है. And the concept of Neerain is now almost done, and we have applied for the design patent in the year 2018. The patent was filed, the industrial journal was also registered, we filed for the trademark and all that. When we were granted the provisional patent, we started working on the actual mode, and that was the month of, let's say, March, when we had the lockdown, the first wave of COVID. The mold was almost ready, and after few trials in the month of June, we launched Neerain. Any technical person can fix it easily within 2 hours, or any local plumber from the village can fix it easily. It has a vertical inlet of rainwater, vertical outlet. Just cut the downtake pipe, put the filter, mark 4 locations, put the screws, and that's it. So it has become so simple for people to understand, so simple for them to implement, and economical for them to, take first step towards harvesting. Now, again, when we have launched the new development that, oh, itna easy ho sakta hai, how do I do that? When we launched this and when we made it available to people, we have showed various videos working, and they were quite surprised. They said they are without electricity, without maintenance, without recurring costs, without the maintenance cost. ये तो बहुत अच्छा है. We should definitely try this out. The first model that we had launched was having a stainless steel filter element as a first filter element, and then there is HDP second filter element, which takes care of impurities up to 200 microns. So you cut your downtake pipe, put the filter, and that's it. And then you start harvesting rainwater. But the cost of the unit was around 6,500 rupees MRP, including GST and transport cost. The 6,500 rupees is the basic cost of the unit. Plus, when a person buys the unit, he will have to buy some plumbing material. He will have to engage a plumber and get it fixed. So his installed cost was going at around somewhere around 11,000-12,000 rupees. And again, this was a kind of my worry that figure of 11,000-12,000 rupees as an installed cost is still beyond a kind of easily adoptable figure of a common middle class family, and who is really suffering from the problem of water. So we again started working on it, applied our mind. Let's say when we are harvesting rainwater, we are concerned with good quality of filtered, clean rainwater. A person is not concerned with a material of construction of the filter element through which it is passing. So I said, when we can have good quality and good volume of water available, the material of construction of filter element is not that very important. It should be good, it should be strong, it should be able to deliver micro filtration requirements. We introduced HDP cloth as a filter element in double layer. Now, the moment we introduced HDP, the whole game changed. The cost of the filter unit with the HDP as first filter element, and again the second filter element of 200 microns, the unit cost came down to 2,950 as MRP, including GST and transport cost. Now, 3,000 रुपये में अगर आप गांधीनगर में है, अहमदाबाद में है, in the first year you can save 60,000 liters of rainwater. If you are in Mumbai, you can save 2.5 lakh liters of water. If you are in Bangalore, you can save 1.2 lakh liters of water. In the first year of implementation, the filter will pay for itself. So it is easy for people to talk about environment, but when it comes, or when it requires money from their pocket to be spent, they would always take a back step. यार बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन अभी थोड़ा बजट का दिक्कत है, देखेंगे. बट व्हेन वी सेड कि बॉस आप जो खर्चा कर रहे हैं वो तो पहले साल में तो निकल रहा है, प्लस नेक्स्ट 20 years यू गेट फ्री फ्रेश वाटर डिलीवर्ड इन योर टैंक इन योर बोरवेल विदाउट ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन। तो जब वो इकोनॉमिक कैलकुलेशन वायबल बना एंड जब वो उनके दिमाग में लॉजिकली डला गया, दैट्स व्हेन वी गॉट द रियल किक। Then there was a second struggle for us. It was not a struggle, but second parameter which was not giving us that kind of a growth. When you say rainwater harvesting, rooftop rainwater filter, and all that, when you talk to people, they would say, "यार मुझे मालूम है, बट मैं कहाँ पानी ले जाऊंगा? मेरे पास इतना बड़ा टंकी नहीं है। आई नो मैं कर लूंगा, आई विल डू इट, आई हैव थॉट ऑफ इट, मैंने घर में कुछ किया हुआ भी है पहले, यू नो थिंग्स।" वी सेड कि रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग ये शब्द इतनी बार यूज हुआ है, जैसे हम बचपन से सुनते आए हैं कि पानी बचाओ, पेड़ लगाओ, स्वच्छता रखो। These are the golden words, but they have been used so many times that these words have really lost its significance. आप बच्चे को भी बोलोगे ना बेटा पानी बचाओ, उसके दिमाग में कोई असर नहीं होगा, बिकॉज दैट दोज वर्ड्स हैव लॉस्ट इट्स सिग्निफिकेंस। और ये हुआ रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग के साथ। हम लोग ढोल बजा रहे हैं, छोटी मोटी ऐड कर रहे हैं, एग्जीबिशंस कर रहे हैं, सोशल मीडिया कर रहे हैं, किक नहीं आ रही है। एंड लॉट ऑफ ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग वेंट इनटू द प्रोसेस। इसे क्या करना है, लोगों को प्रॉब्लम है पानी का, हम इतना अच्छा सॉल्यूशन दे रहे हैं, अच्छे कॉस्ट पे दे रहे हैं, सब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर दिया, फिर भी ये क्यों क्यों टेक ऑफ नहीं हो पा रहा है? वेयर व्हाट इज इट दैट इज पिंचिंग? एंड तब हमारे मेरे दिमाग में आया कि ये तो बहुत साइकोलॉजिकल इश्यू है। जिस बंदे से बात करते हैं बोलता है मुझे मालूम है, कर तो कुछ भी नहीं रहा है, पर वो बोलता है मुझे मालूम है। और उसको ज्यादा कुछ सिखा नहीं सकते आप, क्योंकि वो तो बोला मैंने थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड से मैंने पढ़ा हुआ है, मैं मेरे बच्चों को भी सिखाता हूँ, ये वो, यू नो, से 10 थिंग्स। वी चेंज द एंटायर साइकोलॉजी ऑफ रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग। We stopped using words rainwater harvesting. We stopped using words save rainwater. We stopped it. We said कि उनको सबसे बड़ा फियर क्या है? The biggest fear of a person is कि when he doesn't have a water. आपने जब बोला कि भैया आपके घर में पानी नहीं आएगा, तो इमीडिएटली उसके आंखों के सामने उसका फैमिली आ जाता है कि क्या होगा, मुझे टैंकर बुलाना पड़ेगा, मुझे शिफ्ट करना पड़ेगा, मुझे ये मुझे वो। सो water crisis is a fear factor for him. Now water crisis for you and me is what? कि मेरा जो पानी का रिसोर्स है, अगर वो बोरवेल है, अगर वो हैंड पंप है, या वो म्यूनिसिपैलिटी सप्लाई है, या कहीं और से सप्लाई आ रहा है, मेरे रिसोर्स में पानी कम हो जाना, दैट इज वाटर क्राइसिस फॉर मी, राइट? नाउ वाटर क्राइसिस सो जनरल वर्ड कि जब वाटर क्राइसिस शब्द यूज करेंगे तो आपको बड़े बड़े डेजर्ट दिखेंगे और सूखी हुई धरती दिखेगी, बट इट्स नॉट फॉर मी एंड यू। For me and you, when I don't get water in my home, in my habitat, that's a water crisis for me. तो उसमें जब ब्रेकअप किया कि मैक्सिमम लोग इंडिया के करीब करीब मान के चलो 60% से ज्यादा लोग भूजल पे, ग्राउंड वाटर पे निर्भर है, ऑन ग्राउंड वाटर। और ग्राउंड वाटर पे निर्भर है उसका मतलब कि पानी बोरवेल से जमीन में से निकालते हैं। सो बोरवेल इज अ रिसोर्स फ्रॉम वेयर ग्राउंड वाटर इज कमिंग आउट। अगर बोरवेल ड्राई हो गया तो वो बंदा जो है he will have a huge fear, आगे पीछे हो जाएगा, he would be ready to spend any money कि मेरे बोरवेल को कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए। And this was the trigger. We changed the entire campaign and psychology of this product to borewell. We said raise water in borewell. We said improve the quality of water of borewell, reduce its TDS, reduce its hardness, prevent borewell from drying, increase efficiency of borewell, and save borewell.
So Amit ji, like जो ये पूरा process है, so for example, let's say, can you explain where these are installed? So is this installed in an apartment, individual house, or फिर like what's the journey? Like how do they reach out to you? And then वो जो पानी पूरा filter होता है, how do they store it? How do they utilize it? Like, can you share some stories?
Yeah. So I'll just come to that. So जब हमने ये बोरवेल पे पूरा नरेटिव चेंज कर दिया, and it was a real trigger for us. It was like beginning of fulfillment of our vision. जो मैंने दिमाग में सोचा था, मेरे हार्ट में जो पिक्चर था कि लोगों को पानी की दिक्कत से राहत मिलना, वो क्या है? तो उनके रिसोर्स में पानी अवेलेबल होना. When we said save borewell, people have jumped on it. They have said, यार ये तो पॉसिबल नहीं है, कैसे होगा? They started calling. इन होल प्रोसेस हम लोगों को ये समझाते थे कि साहब एक डिवाइस लगाओ, वर्षा जल को फिल्टर करो और उस पानी को बोरवेल में स्टोर कर दो. ज्यादा टेक्निकल बात नहीं करेंगे. वी विल नॉट से कि डू रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग. वो फोन पे पूछते हैं कि साहब ये तो रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग है. तो हम कहते हैं कि साहब ये रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग से एक कदम आगे है. आप अपने रिसोर्स को जीवंत कर रहे हो. यू आर रीजनरेटिंग योर ओन रिसोर्स. यू आर जस्ट making more water available for your own self by regenerating, by increasing level of water in your borewell. तो उसको उनको ख्याल आ गया कि अगर बोरवेल में कुछ हुआ तो 4-5 लाख का खर्चा हो जाएगा. बोरवेल में कुछ हुआ तो फैमिली पानी के बगैर क्या करेगा? एवरीडे 600-700 रुपए का टैंकर मंगाना पड़ेगा. When we touched this fear factor, people have accepted this as a change in their life. And then people have, like we started a small advertisement in Sandesh newspaper on every Wednesday, save borewell, raise water in borewell karke. And we have used various narratives in Gujarati, like Borma Vade Pani, to Jivan Ma Ujani. Borma Sukai Pani, to Jivan Dhud Dhani. You see? So, and then it clicked. So people have started calling, कैसे हो सकता है? We used to explain. We have a team of, back office team and 5-6 engineers. And individual houses, specifically individual houses who were dependent on borewell, who were drawing water from borewell, because most of them, they receive water from the municipality, but it is not sufficient. So they also have borewell as additional resource of water. तो borewell में से every day वो पानी निकालते हैं. तो वैसे लोगों ने इसका अडॉप्शन शुरू किया कि इंडिविजुअल हाउस वाले लोग अपने घर के रेन वाटर पाइप के साथ नीरेन को लगा दे. रेन वाटर को इसमें से फिल्टर होने के बाद आउटलेट का जो पीवीसी पाइप है वो बोरवेल के साथ कनेक्ट कर देना है. ना ये प्रोसेस को इसलिए हमने बहुत सिंपल कर दिया कि इट इज डन बाय द लोकल प्लम्बर्स. वी मेड फ्यू डिफरेंट वीडियोस, 3D वीडियोस, एक्चुअल वीडियोस, सो दैट any local plumber can do this within 2 hours of time with a minimum cost. And since it is through a local plumber, we got acceptance in people. लोगों को ये हो गया कि यार 3,000 का पीस लो आप, 800-1,000 रुपये प्लम्बर की लेबर हो जाएगी, 1,000-2,000 का मटेरियल हो जाएगा, तो 6-7 हजार में हमारा काम हो जाएगा. तो it has come in the bracket of a middle class family. जो बॉटम ऑफ पिरामिड है, जो हमारे इंडिया के रियल कॉमन मैन है, जो पानी से परेशान है, बोरवेल पे डिपेंडेंट है, उन लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए ये प्राइस ब्रैकेट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट साबित हुआ. तो इंडिविजुअल हाउसेस वाले, अपार्टमेंट्स वाले, सोसाइटीज, इंस्टीट्यूशंस, जैसे कोई स्कूल है, गवर्नमेंट बिल्डिंग्स हैं, कोई कॉलोनी है, वो लोग, एंड स्पेसिफिकली इंडस्ट्री के बड़े बड़े रूफ होते हैं एंड दे हैव अ ह्यूज वाटर कॉस्ट टू पे. तो जो रूफ से पानी मिलता है वो पूरा पानी उनके टैंक में या बोरवेल में हम जमा करवा देते हैं. एंड दे हैव अ ह्यूज सेविंग इन कॉस्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूरिंग मानसून. एंड जो बोरवेल से पानी कम निकलता है वो एक्चुअल ग्राउंड वाटर का कंजर्वेशन है. उतना पानी रेन वाटर की वजह से बाहर नहीं आता है. तो इसीलिए लोग implement करने के बाद then they started giving referrals, they started calling the relatives, अपने खुद के यहाँ से फिल्टर लगा के वो during rains वो वीडियो उतारते थे, फोटोग्राफी करते थे, अपने relatives को भेजते थे, and in the journey of let's say 2.5-3 years we could do around 4,000 such units, 4,000 filters, and maximum business has happened into semi-urban and rural areas. 4,000 यूनिट ने करीब करीब 90 करोड़ लीटर से ज्यादा फ्रेश रेन वाटर लोगों के इंडिविजुअल रिसोर्स के अंदर बचा के दिया है. And that's without the cost of electricity, without any recurring cost, without any headache of maintenance, without intervention of a human, across let's say 250 plus cities in India, few in Africa, like Kenya, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Asian country में नेपाल, and Guatemala in America. इतने कंट्रीज में इसके इंस्टॉलेशन हुए हैं. एंड द रियल फीलर इज कि लोग इसको बहुत यूजफुल मानते हैं, क्योंकि इंडिविजुअल यूनिट लगाने से जो नजदीक का रिसोर्स है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू हैव अ बोरवेल which is on the left hand side of a building, और वहां पे रेन वाटर की जो पाइप आ रही है, just connect one filter and do the connection with the borewell, that's it. If you have a dug well on the other side, if you have a tank on the other side, रिस्पेक्टिव रेन वाटर पाइप को उस रिसोर्स से कनेक्ट कर दिया जाए. जब भी आपके पास बजट हो, ऑन फेज वाइज यू कैन डू इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, यू कैन डू इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑन डिसेंट्रलाइज स्केल. जो रिसोर्स हो उसको आप पानी दे दो. इससे लोगों की ओवरऑल जो नंबर ऑफ कंस्ट्रेंट थे कि रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक लार्जली वी हैव बीन एबल टू एड्रेस, and that is the key filler. Now it's time for us to scale it up in a bigger way.
Just to give general people idea, like when we say 90 crore liter water, right, like pani ke sath the usual association ki if I can visualize it, I can probably understand the scale. So can you tell us like how much would it look like? Is it like a small lake, 90 crore liter water, or like for people to just visualize?
Yeah, so it is like a small roof of 1,200 square feet, let's say. A 1,200 square feet of a roof in city like Ahmedabad, where we have 700 mm of rainfall. This size of a roof, 1,200 square feet, can give approximately 60,000 liters, 60,000 liters of water in a season, in a rainy season. Now, when you go to Mumbai has almost 2,700, 800 mm of rainfall, almost 4-5 times.
Yeah.
So there, the same size of a roof can give you 2.5 lakh liters of rainwater in a season. Bangalore has a rainfall of let's say 1,000 mm. So on a roof of 1,200 square feet, you get 1.2 lakh liters of water. So the size of a roof multiplied by the rainfall is actual volume that we can get it during the rainy season. And collectively, when we add up all the sizes of the roofs with respective areas rainfall, we could arrive at a figure of 90 crore liters.
In general, do you have idea like estimated how much a family consumes, like a household consumes in a year? Like
so a family of let's say 4 persons, they have water requirement. One is for potable purpose, so for their drinking, cooking needs, and the other one is for the utility purpose, for all their domestic requirement. So on an average, a family of 4 or 5, let's say 130 liters, 130 to 135 liters per person is the on an average consumption of one person in urban areas. If you go to semi-urban and rural areas, it would be let's say 80 to 100 liters per person per day. So a family of 4 in semi-urban area, let's say 400 liters per day is the requirement of water for one family. Now, in this specifically, the cooking and drinking need is 5 liters per person per day. So, a family of four would need 20 liters of water specifically for drinking and cooking purpose. So, rainwater is the best or the purest form of healthy form of water for cooking and drinking purpose. So, many people they build separate tank and they use rainwater throughout the year for drinking and cooking purpose. Now, a family of four would need hardly, let's say, 5 liters, that is 20 liters a day, and 300 days you will get the rain again. So, 6,000 liters of water is sufficient for a family for their round the year cooking and drinking requirement. But if you have this water for your cooking and drinking need, I think your 60%, 70% of disease will go away. People have, today vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D3 deficiency, and so many water related disease. Now, these diseases are the result of, reverse osmosis or probably so many different filtration, mechanisms that we use. If you have a rainwater as your input water, as your drinking water, it is a water that is soft. It has no TDS, no hardness, yet it contains all the important elements which are responsible to create vitamin B12, D3, and so many other vitamins in the body.
That's true. Even in Bangalore, like what we have felt, like using like rainwater directly for your washing also is better
Hmm.
for skin and hair. Like
Yes,
otherwise, it is like majority of people here complain about like hair fall because of
true.
the water.
Because the bore wells are going deep. The deeper you go and the water that you extract at a deeper level, it will have a lot of suspended particles, which would be measured in water as your TDS and hardness. Now, the more the hardness, the bigger health issues will be there. Immediate hair falls, the kidney stones, and pain joints. I mean, pain across various joints of body, so a person would never feel comfortable when he drinks this water. So there is no other option but to use RO. Now when he uses RO, there are a number of other diseases which would come free of cost, and they are chronic. When you use RO, you waste 70% of your water and you get hardly 30% of good water back. So on an average, a person, if he is withdrawing water from borewell and he has, let's say, 2.5 HP pump, he is spending about 7 to 8,000 rupees a month as an electricity cost. 70% of these 7,000 goes as drain water, wastewater of RO. So 5,000 rupees almost every month is going down the drain in terms of waste RO water. After having taken this RO water, we are terribly reducing our immunity, and there are a number of other disease which would attack easily. So from generations, people in India have been using rainwater for drinking purpose. And because of the advertisements and because of so many other factors, somehow reverse osmosis RO has become fashion statement for urban houses. And that's why the chronic disease like B12 deficiency, D3 deficiency, low immunity, and so many other diseases have cropped up, and people are spending huge money on these medicines.
I think
Yeah.
overall impact of this thing is what people need to actually understand, because it's not just about rainwater harvesting. Almost everything sustainable has to do with your health and
Yes,
everything,
yes, true.
economy as well. So thanks for like highlighting these aspects, because we have been personally been so frustrated with RO. I mean, I always find that concept like really bad. It, like it's hard to convince parents every time. But
हाँ,
then what we do is like we put a bucket where the outcome of the RO goes and at least use that water. But it's a terrible waste. Like more than 50% going in drain in all the offices. Like if you multiply
yes,
that, it's like
huge, huge,
very
huge, huge.
yes.
And the matter of concern is that people are aware of this fact, but the percentage of such people is very less. So I have seen, including the best of intellectuals, even doctors,
Hmm.
architects, they are continuously propagating use of RO, because our kids, for example, if they drink 50 TDS of water or 100 TDS of water in a house, how can you expect him to be healthy for his lifetime? He would go for his education in a hostel, or he would go outside. Next day, he will have fever and some kind of, you know, cold, cough, and things like that. He will not have any immunity. So, the first and foremost is, I think, the advantage and the qualities of rainwater, they are best known by people, majority of people. The challenge is they are not aware that it is so simple. I mean, from business angle, we have found this as a gap, but not from the business angle. If you look at from the humanity angle, from the human angle, from the sustainability angle, things have to be made so simple for common man to implement. This is the responsibility of technocrats, responsibility of engineers like us, to make things really, really simple. Qualities of rainwater, they are best known by people, majority of people. The challenge is they are not aware that it is so simple. I mean, from business angle, we have found this as a gap, but not from the business angle. If you look at from the humanity angle, from the human angle, from the sustainability angle, things have to be made so simple for common man to implement. This is the responsibility of technocrats, responsibility of engineers like us, to make things really, really simple. देखते ही वो कहना चाहिए यार इसमें कुछ भी नहीं है यार. And when I get this feedback from most of our new prospects, new customers, consultants, यार ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है. I said इसी पे तो हमने काम किया है सर. This is the compliment that we love to receive कि ये कुछ बहुत सिंपल है. जब तक उसको सिंप्लीफाई नहीं करेंगे, हाउ डू वी एक्सपेक्ट ह्यूज मास टू अडॉप्ट समथिंग on a very large scale? And if such adoption doesn't happen on decentralized scale, how do we expect a family to become water secure, and then the communities to become water surplus, and how will then transform the nation to a real water positive nation? It has to start from an individual. It has to start from me. From individual to institution, institutions to industries. All these I put together would, transform India to a water positive nation. It would not come from top.
अमित जी, सो हम बात करें काफी ज्यादा सिंप्लिसिटी की, एंड वे वी आल्सो सी द वेबसाइट, लाइक कि हर एक का यू कैन बाय दैट एज एन ई कॉमर्स, एज अ कमोडिटी कि आपने लाया, इंस्टॉल किया.
हाँ.
सो व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस? लेट्स से मैंने मेरे हाउस के लिए आई बॉट समथिंग,
Hmm.
एंड व्हाट इज द सपोर्ट एंड एजुकेशन जर्नी जो पूरा कस्टमर जाता है फ्रॉम नीरेन?
So when you buy a Neerain rainwater filter, हम क्या करते हैं? वी नॉर्मली प्रोवाइड इंस्टॉलेशन वीडियो. बहुत सरल वीडियो है. आपकी वर्षा जल के पाइप को काटना है, काट के उसके 4 स्क्रू का मार्किंग करना है, मार्किंग करके यूनिट को इंस्टॉल करना है. प्लम्बिंग का जो क्लीन वाटर का पाइप है उसको अपने रिसोर्स, आपके पास टैंक है तो टैंक, या बोरवेल है तो बोरवेल से जोड़ना है. अब ये जो पूरा प्रोसेस है उसका एक 3D वीडियो है, बहुत सरल. देखने से ही वो बंदे को समझ आ जाएगा कि ये तो बहुत बहुत अच्छी तरह से मैं कर सकता हूँ या मेरा प्लम्बर कर सकता है। जब वर्षा जल ऊपर से आता है, इट फ्लोज फ्रॉम द रूफटॉप एंड इट फ्लोज बाय ग्रेविटी. So the moment rainwater enters the Neerain filter, it falls on the curved screen. एक कर्व्ड शेप के अंदर सबसे पहला स्क्रीन रखा हुआ है, वो HDPE मटेरियल का होता है, जो 2 लेयर में, डबल लेयर में है. 500 माइक्रोन मतलब 0.5 mm के पार्टिकल्स को वो रेख देगा और पानी को आगे जाने देगा. और वो कर्व्ड शेप में रखा है, स्लांट में है, तो जो इम्प्योरिटी है वो स्लीप होके नीचे आ जाएगी, पानी उसमें से फिल्टर होके आगे निकल जाएगा. यूनिट के आउटलेट में हमने दूसरा HDPE मटेरियल का 200 माइक्रोन का एक फिल्टर रखा है. वो क्या करेगा, जो माइक्रो इम्प्योरिटी है, बाल की साइज से छोटे इम्प्योरिटीज, उसको वो प्रिवेंट करेगा. और वो 20 इंच लंबा और 4 इंच डायमीटर का है. तो पानी जब दूसरी बार उसमें से फिल्टर होके आगे जाएगा तो जो माइक्रो इम्प्योरिटीज है उसमें रुक जाएगी. ये प्रोसेस होती है बाय ग्रेविटी. सो पानी पहले कर्व्ड फिल्टर एलिमेंट पे गिरा, इम्प्योरिटी स्लीप होके नीचे चली गई, पानी फिल्टर होके सेकंड फिल्टर एलिमेंट में गया, वहां पे फिल्टर होके आगे निकल गया, वहां से वो टैंक में जुड़ा है तो टैंक में, या फिर बोरवेल में जुड़ा है तो वो पानी बोरवेल में चला जाएगा. तो ये जो प्रोसेस है इसमें कोई मूविंग पार्ट नहीं है, इसमें कोई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. पानी ग्रेविटी से आया, दोनों फिल्टर अपनी जगह पे स्टैटिक है, वो हिलते नहीं है. सिर्फ पानी उसमें से छन के आगे चला जाता है. कचरा जहां जहां पे जिस साइज की इंप्योरिटी है, पहले स्क्रीन में बड़ी वाली इंप्योरिटी रुक जाएगी, दूसरे वाले में माइक्रो इंप्योरिटी रुक जाएगी. तो ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, क्योंकि देर इज नो टाइम टेबल ऑफ रेन. सुबह 5 बजे भी बारिश हो गई, दोपहर को 2 बजे भी हो गई, रात को 8-9 बजे भी बारिश हो गई. तो हर समय हमें फिल्टर के सामने रहने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. पानी अपने आप रूफ पे आएगा, फिल्टर होगा, फिल्टर होके अपने रास्ते से, अगर आपने बोरवेल में जोड़ा है तो बोरवेल में, डगवेल है, कुआं है आपके पास, कुएं में आपने जोड़ा है तो कुएं में जाके स्टोर हो जाएगा या टैंक में जाके स्टोर हो जाएगा.
लाइक इसके इंस्टॉल करने के बाद लाइक जो जो भी कचरा कलेक्ट होता है, राइट, उसको भी मेंटेन करने के लिए कुछ करना पड़ता है या
हाँ.
रेगुलरली क्लीन करना होता है?
सो इसमें जो 2 स्टेजेस का फिल्ट्रेशन है, पहली वाले स्क्रीन के ऊपर जो पत्ते, प्लास्टिक, कागज, डेब्री, मिट्टी, बड़ा बड़ा जो फ्लफी मटेरियल होता है, फ्लोटिंग मटेरियल होता है, वो उसके ऊपर जनरली आता है, वो नीचे गिर के नीचे आ जाता है. तो फिल्टर में एक आगे ड्रेन आउटलेट दिया हुआ है छोटा सा. बड़ी इम्प्योरिटी, फ्लोटिंग इम्प्योरिटी उसमें से निकल के नीचे गिर जाती है, नहीं जो गिरती है वो उसके एंड पे आके जमा हो जाती है. तो हमने नीरेन रेन वाटर फिल्टर में फ्रंट में एक ट्रांसपेरेंट लीड दिया है, तो वो हमेशा आपको वो दिखेगा, कुछ भी इम्प्योरिटी आई है तो दिखेगा, हार्वेस्टिंग भी लाइव दिखेगा आपको. तो आप लीड को खोलिए, उस स्क्रीन को बाहर निकालिए, रनिंग टैप के नीचे, नल के नीचे धोना है, धो करके आप वापस रख दीजिए एंड काम खत्म. उसके बाद जो नीचे वाली जो स्क्रीन है माइक्रो इम्प्योरिटी वाली, वो आप हाथ डाल करके उसको बाहर निकालिए और उसको उल्टा रिवर्स करके नल के नीचे वॉश करके वापस रख दीजिए. और कोई टूल की आवश्यकता नहीं है, उसको सिर्फ क्लीन पानी में रनिंग टैप के नीचे धोना है और वापस रख देना है. ये
तो
प्रोसेस वंस ये प्री मानसून मतलब बारिश शुरू होने से पहले एक बार करने की आवश्यकता है, और बारिश खत्म होने के बाद एक बार बस. इन बिटवीन अगर बहुत कचरा आ गया है तो निकाल के हम धो के वापस रख सकते हैं.
और ये इज इट लाइक ये मेटल का पूरा यूनिट होता है और लाइक पॉलीमर का?
नहीं, ये जो
अच्छा.
यूनिट है, जो बॉक्स है, वो एबीएस इंजीनियरिंग प्लास्टिक का मोल्डेड है. इट
ओके.
इज मोल्डेड बॉक्स.
ओके.
और एबीएस मटेरियल से 3 mm थिकनेस में इसको हम बनाया है हमने. एबीएस इज इंजीनियरिंग प्लास्टिक्स, जो हमारे नॉर्मल ऑटोमोबाइल है या एयर कंडीशनर्स है, वॉशिंग मशीन है, हैवी एप्लीकेशंस में यूज होता है. एंड 3 mm थिकनेस हमने रखी है. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग यूवी स्टेबिलाइज, मतलब अगर धूप में भी आपने इंस्टॉल कर दिया है तो उसको कुछ नहीं होना है. तो और ABS बटल होने से वो स्क्रैच प्रूफ है. इट हैज अ वेरी वेरी लॉन्ग, मतलब कम से कम 20-25 साल की उसकी परफॉर्मेंस लाइफ हो जाती है. उसका ग्लॉस इतना अच्छा आता है कि आपका खुद का फेस आपको उसके साइड्स में दिखता है, क्योंकि इट इज मेनली हैंडल्ड बाय हाउस वाइफ्स. तो मेरा एक ये भी थॉट था कि जो भी प्रोडक्ट हम उपलब्ध कराने वाले हैं, इट शुड बी सो नाइस, सो गुड, इट शुड हैव एन अप्लायंस काइंड ऑफ अ फील, कि घर में जब ले जाते हैं तो हाउस वाइफ का एक्सेप्टेंस लेवल खूब बहुत बढ़ जाता है, यार नहीं ये बहुत अच्छी चीज है. तो ABS का एक फायदा है कि वो हाई ग्लॉस देता है. ट्रांसपेरेंट लीड भी ABS से बनाया हुआ है. इंजीनियरिंग प्लास्टिक होने की वजह से स्ट्रेंथ बहुत अच्छी मिलती है. एंड मोल्डेड हमने उसके क्लैंप्स दिए हैं, वो भी मोल्डेड है, तो सीधा उस क्लैंप्स में स्क्रू लग जाते हैं.
यस, आई थिंक आपने जो अच्छी एस्थेटिक प्रोडक्ट का जो बात किया, दैट समथिंग वी कैन कनेक्ट, क्योंकि वही इतना सिंपल लग रहा है कि एंड इट डजंट फील लाइक कि कुछ डब्बा रख दिया है. इट्स लाइक नाइसली
हाँ.
मोल्डेड, शेप अच्छा है उसका. इट्स लाइक ब्लैक, थोड़ा अच्छा सा टैकी भी लगता है. सो एंड आई थिंक हाँ, वुमन acceptance is there.
यस.
So that's a good angle.
So Amit ji, like, what is the next step for Neerain? Like, अभी तक का जो journey रहा है, it's all about learning, going out there, making impact. But what's next for Neerain? Like, what's next in 10 years?
सो हमारा एक विजन है. वी आर कंप्लीटली फोकस्ड ऑन टू मेकिंग दिस कॉमन मैन्स मूवमेंट. और वही वही हमारा अगला नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ ग्रोथ जो है, वहीं से हमारा शुरू होता है. जो काम अभी तक हमने किया, वी हैव फॉर्चुनेटली वी हैव बीन एबल टू डू revenue of 1 crore this year, just the year that has just completed. So when we started from 5 lakh to 16 lakhs, from 16 to 35, and from 35 to 1 crore. Or more than the revenue, it is a great amount of satisfaction. It is, sense of gratitude towards our environment, towards Mother Earth, कि जितने ज्यादा हमारे यूनिट जा रहे हैं उतना ज्यादा पानी बचना शुरू हो जाता है. So the next level of growth that we are looking at is reaching out to maximum cities, and in near term, in 2 years, we should be able to cross a revenue of 5 crores. This is what is our immediate next level of growth vision.
How you have like included the profitability and revenue aspect of it, because it's important people start accepting that okay, we have been paying for to the companies and to the lot of missions which have destroyed our resources. It's time that these companies start making profit which are actually profitable for all of us in a long term thing. Because a lot of initiatives, environment initiatives, I think they die because then financially it's not viable or sustainable. So including that angle and focusing on that, thanks for highlighting, because uh, many people should accept that now.
No, it has to make a business sense. Otherwise, it cannot be a long sustainable work for anybody. If you
Yeah.
run an NGO in 2 or 3 or 5 years, the NGO, when it comes to a comfortable position, it will be stagnant. When there is a business sense, and complete business sense is a good idea to survive and to grow, because ultimate purpose of your business growth is doing something good. So long as you are doing good, so long as you are helping people to empower themselves with some sustainable option, whether it is water, air, food, or whatever it is, only that business sense will make this movement long sustainable, and in my opinion, infinite kind of movement. And it's the only way. It's the only way. You cannot have NGO do this kind of job. I think it's not the sustainable way of doing it.
Yeah, it does. Like it requires a lot of technicality as well.
Yes.
And probably the way we see capitalism is कि जैसे वो grow हुआ है, it has been towards more about कि where the money has been put in more, I think the more has been the impact in general.
Hmm.
So yeah, and like so अभी अमित आपकी team क्या है? Like who are the people behind Neerain?
Yeah, so I have a co-founder, Naishal Shah. He is there as a co-founder, and we both, the founders, have, different strengths, and we have a lot of different responsibilities to each one of us. And then we have team of 2 civil engineers and 3 back office persons. So they are all young engineers, and they take care of the social media marketing, back office work, spreading more awareness, creating a database, sending emails, and reaching out to people. That's the so today current team is 2 plus 3, 5, and 2, 7 persons. We're expanding about to appoint 3 more engineers this month. So we'll have a team of 10 by the end of June.
Wow, that's wonderful. Like to know that there are a team of engineers and people on a technical strong are there at the back end. Yeah, crazy. Also, can you share like where do your customers come to you? Like how do they find you? Ki, this is the solution that they have to take.
So it was difficult when we started. Now we have learned a little bit. Had started little bit of advertising in Gujarat Tea Daily, which is a Sandesh newspaper here. And when we started this advertisement with the Borewell Bachao, Save Borewell kind of captions, that has created a lot of interest among people, and we started receiving one advertisement in a day. We used to receive 40-45 inquiries, and this has given me a real thought. When people are inquiring from small villages, from remote towns about saving his borewell, that means this is a genuine problem. Now, when you are connecting genuine problem with the right fear, and then you are giving a solution without using a word rainwater harvesting, people are happy. This has taught we should now go on to digital media, and we had worked with so many NGOs, so many digital marketing companies. And when they have published our story, like one of the story was published by Savage Humans, and that Instagram story, just a 1 minute video, I think it had created 1.2 million views in 7 days. And we got about 8,000 plus followers on Facebook, almost 3,000 plus phone calls, 2,000 plus WhatsApp inquiries in 10 days of time. So through this kind of digital media campaign, people are reaching out to us because the problem is so large and it is everywhere. It is not easy for us. It is not possible for us to reach out to them unless we go with a mass advertisement media like press and TV, which is not possible, which is too expensive. So the best thing what had happened with us was last year, DD Doordarshan India had taken a note of Neerain rainwater filter, and they on Sunday night, prime time 9 o'clock, they launched the series called as Change Maker. And the first episode of Change Maker was with Neerain. That had given us a huge mileage. I think I got more than 20,000 calls in a month after that. From across India, from remote places and villages, institutions, from government, so many. Followed by that, Doordarshan Ahmedabad had done a complete story for us because It is so simple and adaptable, flexible, modular, economical, practical, doable, maintainable, scalable, profitable. They did this story, 6 minute story, and put it on their social media. They invited me at Doordarshan Ahmedabad. They had a panel discussion and then they interviewed. That had given us again a lot of mileage, a lot of inquiries have started pouring in. We also participate into various exhibitions, and we have created a database of around 50,000 good prospects who have interacted with us over a period of time through various channels. And we we have started sending them some communication, positive communication on water once a month. One SMS gives us more than 100, 200 inquiries. And again, it runs like this. At the same time, we do a lot of campaigns, mail campaigns. We have printed the inland covers, Antardeshis, in Gujarati language, and we send it out to people. It goes out to, in Gujarati, it is completely written, and inland cover goes to individuals. That also generates a lot of inquiries for us. So this is how people reach out to us. What we did is we started appointing dealers at various places. We have about 45 dealers now across India. We made our product available in Amazon, Flipkart, and on our website also. So because the installation of the product doesn't require skilled plumber to be sent from the company. So the biggest hurdle of the business is address in itself. तो जिसको भी चाहिए, he would order it through Amazon, Flipkart, get the product, get the videos from us, and he will call his local plumber and have it installed. तो इससे बहुत बड़ा जो गैप था बिजनेस को स्केल अप करने का, वो हमने उस गैप को फिल कर दिया. So people order it from places like Botat in Gujarat, somewhere a village near Vijayawada, somebody from a place like Kalhandi in Orissa, village in Uttarakhand, somewhere near Dehradun. Such semi-urban town, people, they do not have good logistic facility available for them. They would order it through Amazon or Flipkart and get one piece, get it installed. They will send us photographs, videos, and our engineers, we have a readily care helpline for them. So anybody who orders it, he will get a complete handholding. His plumber will get a complete handholding. And parallelly, we started building a database of plumbers. So we have a dedicated back office staff. What she does is she would call plumbers every day, and she would identify such plumbers in every town of India. So we could build a database of about 5,000 plumbers so far. So आप अगर Bangalore में है, if you want to install it and you do not have a plumber, we will give you the filter. We will give you 3 names. Call these plumbers, get it installed. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful. Like, Shash, do you want to go?
Yeah. No, it's amazing because I think these industries are so decentralized that like you are creating a database of plumbers and all these resources. I think that's an additional benefit for the entire ecosystem. So Amiji, like we have got to know about Neerain, its impact and everything, but one important aspect we like to discuss in the interview is the personal story. So can you tell us like how did you like what were you doing like before starting Neerain and how do you transition? Because it's very important that people get to know that it is possible to do this type of ventures.
So I was a corporate man. I was national head for marketing in Syntax Industries, and I was heading the environmental division where solid waste management was my area of business. It was in the year 2014. I thought of, I was crossing the age of 35, and I said, if I do not venture now, after 40, it won't be possible for me, So 35 is still the age that you have 5 years to do whatever you can and try and establish some kind of a business. So it was my firm belief that, firm determination that uh, without exploring the world, without doing something on my own, I don't want to leave the world. Business तो करना ही है, कुछ भी हो जाए. And 2014, I resigned in Syntax and started rainwater harvesting as an individual consultant. So started giving services to industries for rainwater harvesting. In fact, before resigning Syntax, for about 6 months, I have undertaken detailed study as to what is the area, which domain of business I can get into, and I can make myself survive. And flourishing is next step, but at least I can survive. And I was studying about water distribution, water pollution, air pollution, uh, ETP, STP, rainwater harvesting. After having, because I had my majority of career, I had worked into environment field, and environment is my passion. Something sustainable is my heart's always closer to it. So I said, I do not want to leave the field of environment. At the same time, I do not want to work in solid waste management, because that is a line which was a very small product line for Syntax, and I could build into a very large business there in Syntax. So at the time of leaving Syntax, it was my firm commitment to myself that I will never do business into waste management, because I do not want to spoil my own goodwill, my relations with all those people whom I have built over a period of years. And it is my ability that will build the business. It is not only that same line I can build a business into. So the first moral decision was not to deal into waste management, and second was to remain in the field of environment, not leave the environment and go somewhere. Because when you are leaving a job and starting a business, you do not have a capital. Whatever you have is some kind of savings that you have, and from that you need to manage. Plus, you have to manage your own expenses and survive for 2-3 years, which is again a very difficult thing. So when I was studying all different fields, I said these are all capital intensive fields. The rainwater harvesting area is the area which I could identify that there is a big gap, and so much of work is required to be done in this field that 10 large companies also would come in and do the business. Still the potential is going to be immense, because it is to do with the technological upgradation, making things simple, spreading awareness, then all the psychological parameters of people. So this was the area which I finally identified that yes, here is a cause that is calling me, and here is what I can make a difference. Two reasons why I could identify rainwater harvesting. One, it was not capital intensive, पैसे लगाने की जरूरत नहीं थी. It is only your knowledge, your passion, and your marketing skills would drive the business. Second, there are not many companies. बहुत कम काम हुआ है इस फील्ड में. Those who have done, they've done a bit, but still huge work is to be done. So these were the two reasons which have brought me into rainwater harvesting. And when I decided, yes, this is a cause calling me, I have then started studying in detail. क्या कर सकते हैं? What all can be done within rainwater harvesting domain? So rooftop harvesting is a big area where we have done the innovation of Neerain. Same way there is a surface, जो पानी जमीन पे गिरता है उसका क्या? उसके लिए then there is a separate technology, injection rechargeable technology. There is a lake management kind of a technology. There is an aquifer recovery. So many things we can do within rainwater harvesting, so that the fresh water goes back to the resource called as groundwater. And 2014 to 2018 was the period when I have worked as a consultant, providing a lot of services to industries, undertaking so many surveys, and could establish the business. 2018 is when we have incorporated Neerain as a separate private limited company. Till 2018, there was another company which I have found purely focused on to rainwater harvesting. And 2018, I again felt a need कि रूफटॉप रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग एरिया में स्टिल हमें बहुत ही सिंपल, बहुत ही सरल, साइंटिफिक, स्मार्ट और इकोनॉमिकल ऑप्शन की जरूरत है. सो वो काम हुआ 2018 onwards. This was my own story from working into corporate for about 17-18 years in Syntex. 2014 thought of leaving, a moral decision of not doing business in the same line but starting a new line in the environment domain. After having studied various lines, zeroed on to rainwater harvesting because of the two important factors. One is the capital, and second is the the work that is yet to be done in the field of rainwater harvesting. And we have a commitment to ourselves that we want to be topmost or number one or number two rainwater harvesting company of India that can go across the world and give solutions. So, and this was how the journey is continuing.
The words can't express the journey of total learning and what you have been through, like identifying the right solution, also making it simple and making it like doable to kind of adapt at individuals. So thank you, Miju, for sharing all of your story and the background and giving us like total deep insight into how it's working. Because this morning Shreyas and I were discussing and we were just looking at the website and we said like exactly the same words, like yeah, it's simple lag raha hai, matlab, yeah. So, and that's why when you spoke about it, like we had a big smile on our faces because I think that connects your overall journey, what you wanted to bring on the table and what you wanted to feel to the people. So I think the product translates your journey and vision into what's out there. And thank you for us like walking us through how it was developed and what is the philosophy behind it. So amazing opportunity for us, and thank you for taking your time out for this. It's really insightful.
Thank you so much. In fact, I am so very happy, when you are able to share your journey with similar, passionate, young and sustainable leaders. I would say young leaders. It's so nice, so good to and for me, it is a beginning kind of a thing because. हमने चीजों को सिंप्लीफाई जब तक नहीं किया है तब तक ही वो मुश्किल है. So if the technology is not simple, it is only good for the museum. So that's the whole.
Yes, I think it's inspirational, and we hope like we can spread this to as many youngsters out there because a lot of notions are broken of our own personal thinking about water conservation. So thank you for like sharing all the information.
That's a pleasure, and only one thing I would say कि बारिश की वो बूंद नाली में न जाती तो क्या करती. बारिश की वो बूंद नाली में न जाती तो क्या करती. न बादलों ने पनाह दी, न आपने